Conference championship game weekend. Man, it started off slow, but it finished red hot. Now, a couple of takeaways that we have from the weekend. The committee got it right. I think they got it right this year. Last year, I thought they got it wrong leaving out Florida State. This year, I think they made the right decision leaving SMU in over Alabama. I thought that they deserved it. They played really well in their championship game. Alabama had all the chances that they had, all their opportunities. Look, if you want to be considered as one of the 12 best teams, then don't lose to Vanderbilt. And don't lose to Oklahoma, who can barely field a team. So, they had their opportunities. So don't feel bad with them. I think the committee made the right choice. The SEC is getting preferential treatment, as maybe they should. They are the highest three-loss team in the country outside. Clemson is now in because they won their conference, but Alabama's the highest three-loss team in the country. And then right behind them is South Carolina and Ole Miss. So the SEC has the three highest rated three-loss teams in the country. So they're getting their treatment, and they're putting them up there. But can't lose. SMU was undefeated in conference play and went down to the wire in the championship game. So I think that they made the right decision there. Next, Cam Scalaboo. I've been saying this all year. Man, this guy, he's the best running back outside of Ashton Genty in the country. He's the most electric player to watch, man. It's like he's a freaking bowling ball. He's impossible to tackle. Huge runs all the time. He is an awesome running back. He will cause some fits, whoever he's going to get in the next round, either Clemson or Texas. So that will be fun watching him. He was great. He won the weekend, I thought. He put up a bunch of big runs that put Arizona State in a great position. Obviously, the Arizona State caused 3 turnovers, I think, in a row in the start the second half, which really helped them. But Cam Scalaboo took advantage of all of that too. Questions for Georgia and Carson Beck's health. Looks like he has maybe a torn UCL. They're going for second opinions, the latest I heard. But that's going to be a big problem. I don't know if Gunnar Stockton is going to be the guy to take them to win the national championship and get to that level. I'm not sold on that. Now he did look okay against Texas. Nothing too impressive. In 12 for 16 for 71 yards. So nothing that was very groundbreaking. But Georgia may be a team that doesn't need anyone to be all that world beating. They could just be hey, we're going to hand the ball off and we're going to throw these quick slants and that's how we're going to beat you. And they have the talent to do it. They have Arian Smith dropping every single ball, though, so we'll see how that goes. But it's something you're definitely going to have to look out for is the health of Carson Beck and where he's going to be. All right, now we got Boise State and Army. They really benefited from having the cold weather environments. They had these southern teams come up on the road up north, and they were really freezing. You saw Tulane; they were coming out in sweatshirts, and they were frozen. And Army was just jacked up. And the result of the game yielded so. Tulane came out really flat, put up no points. They had a botched field goal. They had terrible penalties. And you saw same thing with Boise State. Those dudes from Las Vegas coming up north, man, they just didn't really have a chance. And you can tell that the weather had a pretty big factor in it. So I think that the cold weather for these teams really played a big role. And now we look at what the first matchups at home will be. You have Penn State. They're going to be a cold one. And then also you have Ohio State, where Tennessee is going to. Now, Tennessee, I'm not sure will be that, Tennessee still gets a little cold. But Dallas, you got SMU going to Penn State. I think that might be a big factor there based on what we just saw. So that's something to definitely keep an eye out for. The Clemson clinching the ACC. This is it's just too funny, man. First of all, that they got into the ACC championship with Miami losing and blowing that opportunity for them. But how Clemson clinching the ACC championship with their kicker, a 55-yard field goal, is the most poetic justice of this team the entire year. They have been god-awful on special teams, particularly in the field goal unit. Block kicks, missed kicks, their field goal unit has been absolutely horrendous. And for them to win it on that field goal, to walk off game-winning field goal, is poetic justice, man. So give them credit. That was really cool to see. Iowa State, they're our Lulz team of the week. They were started as dogs for the game, ended up being favorites to start the game, and they just shit the bed, and there's really nothing other than that to it. Turnovers were a huge problem for them. They could not tackle Cam Scatterboo if their life depended on it. They just did not know how to tackle at all, and they just embarrassed themselves in that game. And Arizona State really took it to them. All right, what's going on with Texas, man? Like, I thought we were going to see more Arch Manning in this game against Georgia last weekend, based on how Quinn Ewers had been playing. So I was like, Quinn's really not lighting the world on fire right now. I think we can try to look at Arch Manning to see if they can give him another spark. And he got in the game a little bit, but not a lot. I was expecting him to get in a lot more. Now Texas has played Georgia twice, has lost both times. And Arch Manning could have made a bigger factor in both of those games. Will Sark now continue to do what he's doing with Quinn Ewers at the helm and taking all of the snaps? Or is he going to go in against Clemson and maybe change a game plan? Because he's seeing maybe Quinn, whether he's hurt or not, having a really hard time moving the ball downfield and making these passes and just being like a threat. Because he's not really a threat in the run game. So I'm interested to see how they're going to do, because Clemson does have a good D-line. All right. Lastly, I think we can put to bed that the 5 seed really better than the 1 seed, or like getting not worth it to get the bye if you win your conference championship. Like, who do you think Georgia would rather be? Do you think Georgia would rather be Georgia or hosting Clemson again? Obviously, I know Georgia whooped Clemson, but it's not like a walk in the park here. Texas now has to host Clemson and then play another game. So, like, if I'm Texas, I'm like, damn, I would much rather have the bye than having to play Texas as the 12 seed. So I think the whole 12 seed or the 5 seed, you want to lose your conference championship or whatever. I think we could put that to rest, man. I don't think that's going to be the case, just how it worked out this week. Like, give me the bye. I'll take the bye anytime here, knowing that I'll get another week and won't have to play another game, because we see what happens. Like, injuries happen no matter who you're playing. So I'll take the bye anytime. Follow Big Body Ball CFB on all socials.